Right now, inside your body, something strange is happening. You feel tired, heavy, maybe even a little resistant to moving. Your brain whispers, rest, sit, save energy. And it feels logical, because fatigue should mean you're running out of energy, right? But the moment you start walking anyway, despite that tired feeling, a hidden shift begins. Signals change, systems wake up. Energy pathways that were quiet just minutes ago begin to react. And here's the part most people miss. Your body doesn't just use energy when you walk. It starts creating access to more of it. Because what happens next completely flips how you understand fatigue. Inside your body, energy isn't just a number, it's a system. Think of it like a massive warehouse. At any moment, your body has stored fuel, glucose, fat, glycogen, but it doesn't hand it out freely. It releases energy based on signals, based on demand, based on movement. When you're sitting still and feeling tired, your body actually tightens access. It slows circulation. It reduces delivery. It assumes you're done for now. So that tired feeling, it's not always because you have no energy. It's often because your body has stopped distributing it efficiently. But here's where it gets interesting. The moment you stand up and start walking, even slowly, your body interprets that as a new instruction. Energy is needed again, and everything begins to shift. In the first few minutes of walking, nothing dramatic seems to happen. Your legs move, your breathing slightly changes, your heart beats a bit faster. But inside, a quiet activation begins. Blood flow starts to redirect. Instead of pooling in areas of low activity, it begins moving toward your muscles. Your heart increases output, not aggressively, but just enough to supply motion. Think of it like turning on lights in a building that was dimmed. At the same time, your nervous system starts adjusting. Signals from your brain to your body become more alert, more coordinated. But here's the subtle part most people overlook. Your body begins tapping into immediate energy reserves, the quick-access fuel stored in your bloodstream and muscles. This is why, after a few minutes, that heavy feeling doesn't disappear, but it starts to loosen. Now watch this, because this is where most people stop. They assume the tiredness means it's not working. But in reality, this is where it starts. As you keep walking, your body enters a different phase. This is the activation phase. Now, your muscles are no longer just moving, they're demanding energy. And your body responds. Hormones like adrenaline begin to rise slightly, not enough to stress you, but enough to sharpen your system. Your heart pumps more efficiently. Oxygen delivery increases. But here's the key shift. Your body starts transitioning from limited supply mode to active distribution mode. Imagine a highway system. When you're resting and tired, traffic is slow, restricted, almost paused. But once you start walking, lanes begin to open, flow increases, delivery speeds up, and this changes everything. Because now, your body isn't just using what's immediately available, it's preparing to access deeper reserves. This is also where your brain begins to change its interpretation. That tired signal, it starts getting overwritten. Not instantly, but gradually. Because movement sends a new message. You're not shutting down. You're continuing. And your body adapts to match that message. Now, as you move further, 10, maybe 15 minutes in, you enter the peak phase. This is where the transformation becomes real. Your body begins shifting toward more sustainable energy sources. Instead of relying heavily on quick glucose, it starts increasing the use of stored fat. Oxygen efficiency improves. Your breathing becomes more rhythmic, less forced. And here's where it gets fascinating. That original feeling of fatigue, it often starts to fade, not because you rested, but because you moved through it. This is where it gets interesting. Your body begins producing endorphins, natural chemicals that improve mood and reduce the perception of effort. Blood flow to the brain increases, enhancing focus and clarity. So while you expected to feel more tired, you may actually start feeling more awake, more present, more capable. And this isn't random. It's your body recognizing that movement is ongoing and optimizing itself to support it. Think of it like an engine warming up. At first, it struggles, it resists, it feels inefficient. But once it reaches the right state, everything runs smoother, more efficiently, with less friction. And this changes everything about how you experience energy. But the story doesn't end when you stop walking, because the after effect is where the deeper changes happen. Even after you sit down again, your body doesn't immediately return to that low energy state. Circulation remains elevated for a while. Your muscles continue processing nutrients more effectively. And here's the part most people miss. Your body starts adapting. Not in a dramatic way, but in subtle, powerful adjustments. It becomes more efficient at accessing energy, better at switching between fuel sources, more responsive to movement signals. So the next time you feel tired and you walk again, the shift happens faster, smoother, more naturally. But there's a deeper layer to this, a psychological shift that changes how you see your body. Most people believe they're fighting fatigue, that tiredness is something to resist, to overcome with force or willpower. But what if that's not true? What if your body isn't working against you, but simply waiting for the right signal? Because fatigue isn't always a shutdown. Sometimes it's a pause, a state where your body is conserving resources until you show it that more is needed. And walking becomes that signal. You're not forcing energy, you're unlocking it. Research quietly supports this idea. Studies have shown that light to moderate movement, like walking, can actually increase perceived energy levels, even in people who initially feel fatigued. Not because they gained energy out of nowhere, but because their bodies improved how energy was delivered and used. Circulation improves, oxygen flow increases, brain activity becomes more balanced, and the result? You feel less tired, by doing the very thing you thought would make you more tired. Now consider the opposite. What happens when you don't move, when fatigue tells you to stop, and you listen every time? Your body adapts to that too. Circulation slows more often. Energy pathways become less responsive. Your system becomes efficient at conserving, but not at activating. And over time, that tired feeling can come more quickly. Stay longer. Feel heavier. Not because something is wrong, but because the signal to activate is missing. But when you walk, even when you feel tired, you begin a different process, a transformation. Your body becomes more adaptable, more efficient, more responsive. It learns that fatigue isn't the end of movement, it's just the beginning of a shift. Energy systems become flexible. Your metabolism becomes smarter. Your internal switch between rest and activity becomes faster. And over time, something subtle but powerful happens. You stop fearing that tired feeling, because you understand it. In the end, your body isn't broken. It isn't lazy. It isn't working against you. It's responding to signals. And walking, especially when you don't feel like it, is one of the clearest signals you can give. A signal that says, stay active, keep going, adapt. And your body listens, quietly, efficiently, powerfully. So next time you feel tired, and your instinct is to stop, just walk, even for a few minutes. Because inside your body, a completely different story might be waiting to unfold. And the real question is, what surprised you most about what actually happens when you keep moving?